Good evening. I'd like to bring back the City Council meeting for September 12th, back for our general meeting. Roll call, please.
Ilisich,
Present.
Huffman Gomez,
Present.
Dutra, Garcia, Hernandez,
Here.
Hurst,
Here.
Rios.
Here. Can Ms. Trina Kaufman-Gomez lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance?
Certainly. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Moving into information items, I had a question. I don't know if it's a mistake on report on reimbursements. Page 9. Page 9, there's an item there, it says on the top, Corralitos Pizza, Straw Feds Pizza, 5,326. Is that a pizza party? Was it an error, a mistake?
Good pizza.
Strawberry Festival.
Strawberry
Festival.
Oh, okay.
The strawberry.
So Corralitos, so what is anyway? Can you clear up? Anyone?
Good evening, Mayor. Brad Blatchley, Parks and Community Services Department. That was a purchase of strawberry pizza for the Neighborhood Services Division, the Contigo program that sold pizza at the Strawberry Festival as a fundraiser.
It was a fundraiser.
Yes. It's part of Strawberry Lane at the Strawberry Festival.
And let me say, there was some of the best pizza, the very best strawberry pizza you could find anywhere. In fact, it might be the only strawberry pizza you can find anywhere.
Oh, great. Okay, so that clears that up. Okay, any other questions on informational items? Okay, seeing none, then we'll move to presentations and oral communications. This is a time for oral communications from the public and City Council, and we'll go to the public. And if anyone needs translation and interpretation, there are some headsets, and Carlos Landaveri is our interpreter. So please, si necesita una interpretación, un audífono está allá presente, si necesita uno. Hola, Carlos. Okay, oral communications, please tell us who you are, and you have a little clock there that tells you how much time you have. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Rios and council members. I'm Dobie Jenkins, and it is my honor and pleasure to be here this evening to present to you the program for the upcoming Monterey Bay Birding Festival, which is principally sponsored by the city of Watsonville and you, kind ladies and gentlemen. I want to invite you all to attend the festival Saturday, September 23rd, some 10 days off, and particularly to attend our reception. I think some of you may have attended in the past, the Taste of the Pajaro Valley, which features great food presented by restaurants and food suppliers here in the Pajaro Valley. But I want, in thanking you for your continuing sponsorship, this is the 13th year of the festival. I want to particularly thank the city manager, Charles Montoya, the assistant city manager, Matthew Huffaker, and their staff, Tamara Vides and Doug Matos. Doug Matos has taken part in the festival every year since its founding, and it's his 13th year, and he's providing a great liaison, as is Tamara, with the city offices, which we depend on for certain services and support in the festival. But please, mark your calendars right now and your phones and so on for September the 23rd. The event will go from 6 a.m. in the morning until probably about 9 in the evening. And so get your binoculars polished, your bird guides out, and we look forward to seeing you on the 23rd. Thank you so much again for your support.
I had a question, Toby.
Yes.
You know about birds. Today, when I was coming this way around Moss Landing, there was these packs and packs of little birds, little white birds.
I think those are elegant terns.
Are they?
Snowy plovers.
Yeah, there are a whole number of expert birders, but there are some in those salt ponds.
Yes.
Yeah, I think those may be elegant terns. Earl, okay, that's a good guess. Thank you.
Okay. go.
Any other questions about birds that you may have seen in recent days? Because they're all starting, the migratory birds are really starting to come in now, and we anticipate during the festival to see about 215 to 230 different species of birds in the 3 counties, Santa Cruz, Monterey, San Benito, where we do our principal birding.
So the ones that are coming right now, those are migrating this way then?
Those terns, I think, are around most of the year. Would they nest here, Earl?
They were just thousands.
No. Okay. Yeah. They. I think they've been particularly plentiful. We were out there on this past Saturday and saw them, and they make a lot of noise once they get up into the air. They are noisy.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Toby.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Can you tell me, I couldn't see it in the brochure, what time is your reception?
It'll start about 5:30, 5:45.
Oh, okay.
And then the evening lecture will start approximately about 7 o'clock. We have an excellent lecturer who's going to present both a workshop in the afternoon and a lecture in the evening. But we'll have another workshop and a very interesting film in the afternoon. And there are field trips going out during the morning hours, then workshops in the afternoon, the reception starting about 5:30, and the lecture starting about 7 o'clock.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for all you do and all that committee, that puts this together.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Evening, Mayor Rios and
Hello.
City Council members. I'm here to tell you about another exciting event we have coming up very soon. This weekend, September 16th on Saturday.
Can you tell us your name, please?
Yes, my name is Tammy Stolzenthaler, and I'm with the Public Works and Utilities Outreach
Thank you, Tammy.
Division. And so we have our annual coastal cleanup happening right here in Watsonville. Last year, we had hundreds of volunteers coming out, and we expect the same this year. We have kind of a following in Watsonville. We have at least 4 sites in Watsonville. One of our sites is at Watsonville Slough, meeting at the Watsonville Nature Center. We have West Ruve Slough, meeting at the base of Pajaro Valley High School. We have Pajaro River at River Park at East Front Street. There'll be a cleanup at the downtown Watsonville City Plaza. And of course, we also have our coastal sites at Sunset and Palm Beach. The event is from 9 to 12. Just a little shout out to all the schools. We have Minty White and Starlight participating during the week, and there's probably some of our other schools participating. Last year, we had 100 volunteers from Watsonville High and PV High School alone, so we're expecting a great turnout, and I know lots of our council members were out with the community for the event last year, and we invite you back on Saturday.
So maybe, Tammy, maybe you already have planned something out, but maybe you can think about something for our next council meeting. Bring some of them, and we can, present them here or give them something, at least to recognize that the great work that's being done by the volunteers, especially students. That's great to hear that the high schools are involved.
Yes, definitely. That's a great idea. We'll be sure to follow up. And yeah, it's the largest volunteer day in the world internationally of the year. And Watsonville knows how to celebrate this event. So we're glad to see it. We're glad to see the beautification of the city.
Thank you for that work.
I had a
You have a question? Yes, Ms. Garcia.
Yes. I'm wanting to clean up in my neighborhood, particularly on Hammer between Pennsylvania and Arthur, on the right-hand side. Horrible. Where do I pick up trash and, all the equipment I need?
We'd be happy to help you with supplies. So we'll get in touch with you tomorrow. Does email work?
Yeah.
We can get in touch with you and give you a call. We'd be happy to give you the supplies.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you can clean up that neighborhood. We'd be really happy to have that happen.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
Mr. Mayor, may
Yes.
I add a footnote to Tammy's remarks? And that is on the 23rd and 24th of September, the Nature Center will present its Family Days, a Family Days associated with the Birding Festival. So all the people in the community, particularly families, are invited to come to the Nature Center there in Ramsey Park, and they will have a lot of activities going on with a probably a particular emphasis on birding and an associated with birding. But that's the Saturday and the Sunday, September 23rd and 24th upcoming. Family Days at the Nature Center.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Honorable Mayor Rios, distinguished city council members, good evening. I come before you today as president of the Pajaro Valley chapter of the Association of Mexican American Educators. We are a group of veteran educators representing classified certificated management members working within the Pajaro Valley.
Can you tell us your name, please?
Abel Mejia.
Thank you.
Last month, our chapter passed a resolution to celebrate the second Monday in October as Indigenous Peoples Day. We hope that the city of Watsonville can follow in the footsteps of cities like Los Angeles, Santa Cruz, and Berkeley in extending this long overdue recognition and acknowledgement of Indigenous peoples' contribution, sacrifices, wisdom, knowledge, and cultural traditions. We ask that you place this item to be voted on your next agenda for September 26th or your earliest convenience. In these next 2 weeks, it will give us time to contemplate what we have learned and unlearned about the people once called Indians. It will give us time to understand and overstand how the indigenous people here and throughout the rest of the Americas lost their land through Pilgrim's Progress and explorers' greed. I hope that this council comes together in unanimous voice to say that we value the sacrifices of the water protectors who placed their lives and well-being in order to conserve the water quality of over 40 million Americans. I hope that the City Council of Watsonville reaches the consensus that we have much to learn from the wisdom and knowledge of healers and herbalists. I hope that the City Council of Watsonville hears the prayers and the words of those who have passed on to the afterlife that Indigenous lives matter. So few within our community know about the reality of Indigenous people throughout this nation. They know very little about the rates of suicide, depression, alcoholism, police brutality, joblessness, and so many negative statistics that bring grown folks to tears. This resolution nor any other will not change much, but it'll be a positive first step in working together with this valuable and integral part of our community, whether it be members of the Ohlone, Navajo, Triqui, Azteca, Purepecha, Huichol, Apache, Cherokee tribes, or the countless others who remain nameless and faceless beings absorbed into this great melting pot called America. Give the Indigenous people back their history, let them share their stories, knowledge, and beautiful culture, and watch that seed of opportunity, respect, and positivity grow. So I have a copy of this letter and a resolution that you can follow. It builds off of Seattle and what they did there, and I changed everything regarding Seattle and their particular community to Watsonville. But the end being that we vote for the second Monday in October to be recognized as Indigenous Peoples Day. There will be follow-through with the Pajaro Valley Unified School District. They will be adopting some kind of resolution similar to this one, that the second Monday in October, from here on forward, be Indigenous Peoples Day.
Thank you, Mr. Mejia. You can give the information to Erwin there, please. Next.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council members, and staff. I'm Jenny Sarmiento, and I live in District 4. And I am here on a couple of things. One of them is that I also would like to request that the City Council observe Indigenous Peoples Day, the second Monday in October. Most of us, whether we were born in the U.S., in California, or we migrated from Latin America, most of us share a history. We are a mixture of indigenous, Spanish, and Africans. And so I think that it would be the right message to send to our community, a large community, especially here in Watsonville, that we have a history, we share a history, and to acknowledge the work of Indigenous people in the Americas. The second thing that I wanted to also mention is that to congratulate you on your support on SB 562 and Healthy California Act. SB 562 is important, as most of you know, that children, especially our children, learn a lot better when they're healthy, when they have access to health care, and they have access to a good diet, a good environment. So I would like to thank you for your support, and thank you for both Indigenous Peoples Day and SB 562. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, Brad Blatchley, Parks and Community Services Department again. Just wanted to take a minute to plug two events. The first is the Music in the Plaza event. This Thursday night will be the conclusion of the event for this year. It will be a jazz night featuring the 7th Street Band. And then the second thing I wanted to let folks know about is the Parks and Community Services Department is, for the second session in a row, we're collaborating with Mariposas Arts of the Santa Cruz County Arts Council to provide arts classes for youth. The classes will be held beginning September 25th. There's 5 different classes: acoustic guitar, expressive painting, community theater, West African drumming, and hip-hop dance. The classes will be in the evenings for youth ages 11 to 12. There's 8 sessions per class. It's only $40. And anybody who's interested or would like to register for more information can contact our office at 768-3240 or visit us at 321 Union or 231 Union Street. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's really good. Anyone else that would like to address us?
My name is Sandra Caceres, and I'm a Maloney Indian. I'm part of the Romandia family. We've been in the Central Coast for hundreds of years. We'd like you to join the Sand City, our cousin Marianne Caron, in joining Indigenous Day. It's been a long time coming. Our family has been through quite a bit, and hopefully everybody will join on Indigenous Day. Honey?
Hi, my name is Heriberto Gonzalez, and our Mexican culture is really beautiful, and it has a lot of beauty. And also, I would like to say that the Native American culture is rich in heritage, and I just wish and pray and hope that they too will be recognized here in Watsonville. And I'm here to support and help out.
And we also do have honoring the elders up in Mount Madonna.
That you guys are welcome.
Right.
Okay.
The first weekend of June. Everybody's welcome to come join us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else?
Good afternoon.
My name is Ulises Jeronimo.
And I'm Eduardo Gutierrez.
We would like to request a bike park for...
Can you get closer to the mic, please?
We would like to request a bike park because we have nowhere to ride, and the new skate park is being used by all the skaters, and the old park is just there sitting alone. Maybe we can convert it into a bike park where we can ride.
So you're saying where the old skateboard used to be, to
Yes.
make that one into a bike park?
Like to request that.
Okay, thank you very much. I think there's been some of my thoughts about that already. But thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
I have an additional comment.
Yes, please.
Oh, here in Watsonville, the bike community is growing, like the freestyle BMX community, and we are always getting kicked out of like places. Like we go to the high schools, we go here to the library too, up here in the parking lot, but they always kick us out. We don't have like many places to ride, and it's also not very like, I'd say, bike friendly here in Watsonville. Like the accident that happened yesterday, I think it's kind of hazardous. Maybe and we would just like more places for like bikes, like specified spots. Maybe like the Watsonville trails, like the slough. Like we could ride there, but they're not really meant for bikes.
Leave us your names, and your phones, because Council Member Felipe Hernandez and also Vice Mayor Loaves, they are part of a bike committee here, and it would be good to also get you integrated on this, and get your ideas and thoughts. I think those are great ideas. Okay? So please leave in the cards, okay? You should give us your phones and there, okay?
Okay.
And give it to everyone right there. Thank you very much. Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Karen, and I live in Felipe's district, and actually I walked here. That's how close I live. I walked here.
Welcome, Karen.
And I just want to say that I support everything that everybody has said tonight. I support the bikers, I support the Bird Festival, I support the Indigenous Day, and I also support the SB 562, which I think it would be it will be so incredibly useful and important for families in Watsonville. Absolutely, totally important for families in Watsonville to have this kind of a benefit for families and for everybody in California, obviously. But I'm really, really supporting that you support this as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Karen. Anyone else? Okay, we got some really good stuff we've been invited here. And I'm really excited also about young people being able to learn instruments, so that's really good that, the city's putting this up, and we encourage everyone at home, bring the kids, learn how to play instrument, and also learn of all the different activities and requests that have been made this evening. Okay, we come to City Council, and we're going to start with Vice Mayor Loaves.
Thank you very much, Mayor. We've had a kind of a busy summer already, and many things have been accomplished. Some of the attendees in the village got to go to the Wings over Watsonville. It was a nice warm day. In fact, it was so hot that some people didn't survive the day. It was incredibly warm. But we see that there's lots of changes in the weather, unprecedented thunderstorms and heat waves, and so things are moving on Mother Earth. We did have our sister city welcome recently. Our students from Kawakamimura, Japan, came to visit us and spent time in the appropriate middle schools, and we had a wonderful dinner and a welcome for them, and we look forward to share that cross-cultural experience with that sister city and others as well. I was lucky enough to go to the Loaves and Fishes Empty Bowl fundraiser, which was very successful, and that helps provide nutritious meals to the less fortunate in our community. Another fundraiser I was able to go to was the Casa Imagine fundraiser, and it's kind of a high-end deal, and they do that on purpose because they raised over $150,000 in one evening through their charity auction and their ticket solicitation. I know that county fair is coming up. Let's make sure that we support our local county fair. I won't be able to be there every day, but I hope to help celebrate the wonderful tradition of county fair. We've heard about the birding festival, and we've heard about the cleanup. The cleanup should not just be one weekend out of the year. It should be a time, any time in your neighborhood or any place in the city for you to help focus on encouraging others to clean up and setting a good example yourself. And speaking of setting a good examples, we see some students in the audience this evening, and we see some teachers in the audience, and we see some school officials in the audience, and we're hoping that the schools will thrive and do well, and I know that they're going to have a big meeting here tomorrow, and I won't be here. I'll be in Sacramento, but my thoughts are with those teachers, and I hope that there will be a positive conclusion very soon to their labor issues, and that teachers can enjoy all the rest of the wonderful things in Watsonville and not have to just worry about their paycheck and help focus on the students. So good luck to the teachers, and let's remember that every day is a cleanup day here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hertz. Ms. Bilicic.
Well, there's been many activities here, and you heard Councilmember Hertz talk about the sister city. We had a dinner here. Many of us, I think all of us attended, or close to it. The Empty Bowls event for Loaves and Fishes is always a special event in our community, and it was a great fundraiser. They just get things going, and a lot of people step forward and pledge money at the event. So it was a nice event. And then I had the opportunity to go to the Watsonville Women's Club, who had a scholarship presented in memory of my mom, which was really kind of special, that the Women's Club ended up donating monies to have and to put it into youth. Since she was a teacher, it was a nice tribute to her. Also, we went to the Pippin's Orchards affordable housing groundbreaking ceremony. And that is going to have more affordable housing in our area, so I think most of us were there for that too. But there are a lot of good things happening in our community all the time, and we really appreciate emails and phone calls to let us know how we can support you. Thank you. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you very much. Ms. Trina Kaufman-Gomez.
Thank you. I would like to go ahead and start off with my notes for the announcement. Let's see. Definitely the fair. The fair's starting up tomorrow here. It'll go through Sunday, and there's a lot of activity that will be happening out there. So we look forward to having a lot of people from our community as well as throughout the county here attend for this particular event this year. Burrito Bash is also another one that will be handled at the fairgrounds as well, and that will be the 7th of October. And that's a Rotarian event that's out there. There's going to be a car show that goes along with this. We're encouraging any of the restaurants, local restaurants here that would like to compete in the Burrito Bash to put their name in the hat so that we can have some more competition and make it a much larger event. We've also got open studio tours, and that's within the county here. It'll be 3 weekends. There's 2 weekends plus another weekend that's an encore week, and we have quite a few artists within our county here. I think per capita Santa Cruz is probably one of the top in the nation for the number of artists in our community. And this allows them to open up their studios to the public for you to see what is being done in this community of the artistic nature, of the variety of different types of medium for art in our community here. I also wanted to let everyone know that right now we are just getting everything rolled for our Assembly member, Ana Caballero, who has her office located here. And it's the second Tuesday of every month. And the office hours that they're keeping would be from 1 to 5 p.m. So we'll probably see one of our Assembly members' aides come to our council meeting once a month as well, or at least come in and find out what is happening on the agenda. Maybe we can encourage him to also give us a little bit of the state update with that also. But we have accommodation set up here, and again, that's the second Tuesday of the month from 1 to 5 for Ana Caballero's office here in our location, which is nice. You don't need to head over to Salinas to see our Assembly member. And that would be all for my items.
Thank you very much. Mr. Dutra.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody, and good evening, everybody at home for watching, and thank you for watching us. I just first want to say thanks to the kids for speaking today. I agree with you guys that we definitely need more activities and space for you guys to be, extra doing your biking and skating, and we just need more space for the kids to be moving around in the city. So, and especially after the tragedy that we had yesterday with the bike rider, I think that it's important that we continue thinking about our safety and biking here in the community. I also went to the Loaves and Fishes dinners that everyone spoke about. It was a great evening. We had a lot of fun, and it was all for a good cause. Definitely, it showed how the community comes together to help those that are less fortunate and that need a meal. So thank you to the community. And actually, it's a big set county dinner, because I would say a big portion of the people that were there at the event were from probably within the county, not necessarily Watsonville itself. And then we also went to the Kawakami dinner. That was great to see all the exchange students come, and I saw the pictures people were posting them on my Facebook page of them going to being on tractors and being around our city that we all take for granted. So, we have the beach here, we have agriculture, we have a lot of things that other countries do not get to really see or experience a lot. So they had a great time, and I want to say thank you for involving me with that. I have just a couple more comments. Metro, we are working on re-landscaping the Metro over there. We've recently, as you've seen, we've painted it, we put all new lighting, we put in new security. Now we're going to be re-landscaping it, and we're also working on putting in a new mural. So we're really redoing that whole area, and I want to say thank you to the City of Watsonville who's partnering with us to get this project off the ground. So thank you very much. So look to Metro to be changing its look even more within the next 6 months to 6 to 9 months. And then activities coming up. PAL, in my district, District 4, it's going to be our annual Halloween bash. So on October 27th from 5:30 to 9, we are going to be doing, it's going to be Halloween costume contest as usual. There's going to be food, and we're going to be showing a movie. So last year we showed Maleficent. I don't know what we're going to show this year. We haven't figured that part out, but that's going to be on Carrie Davis. So that's October 27th from 5:30 to 9 o'clock, and we want to thank PAL for that. And then finally, for the Paro Valley Shelter Service, we're having our first annual dinner. It's going to be at Jalisco's on November 2nd, and the tickets are $100, and there's going to be a silent auction. We're actually looking for donations at this time, so if anybody at home or in the audience has anything that we could use for our silent auction, please get a hold of me or anybody at the shelter. And this goes to a great cause. Our waiting list at the shelter is always long, because we give the tools back to our clients that they need to be successful. So we teach them how to balance their checkbooks and how to child care and everything that they need. So definitely, that's November 2nd. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Garcia.
Tonight, I'm going to be reporting on one meeting and on one event that I attended. I recently met with Matt and Maria Cardenas, who's the executive director of Santa Cruz Community Ventures. And I want to begin by asking a few questions. One, did you know that 27% of the residents in Watsonville live below the federal poverty level? Did you know that 25% of households are unbanked, which means these households do not have any savings or checking account? Did you know that also 25% are underbanked, which means they might have a bank account, but they are still dependent on predatory financial services, such as payday loans? So why we met with Maria, because she has this idea, and the idea is that she would like to see every child born in Watsonville be given a children's savings account. And the intent of this is to increase the access and expectation that these young people who have begun saving since they were born will now go to college. It also will increase the parent engagement in finances. So in meeting with Matt, he was very open to see how we, the city, can work with other agencies to make this happen. It is anticipated that all will be brought together in February 2018. So after that occurs, I will report back to you to see if we can have every child born in Watsonville be given a savings account. Secondly, I was proud to be the sponsor of the Barrios Unidos 40th anniversary celebration. Since 1977, Barrios Unidos has been a peace builder inside and outside prison walls. They have addressed racial justice, community healing, and restorative justice. They have never hesitated to come to Watsonville. And so their executive director, Daniel Nane Alejandres, is a very familiar face here in Watsonville. And so we are very lucky to have such an agency around for 40 years to help us with issues of violence. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you very much, Mayor. You know, I attended a lot of the events as well that folks have mentioned. I think I attended most of the ones that Vice Mayor Lowell Hurst mentioned, except minus the CASA one. I also attended the Watsonville Boxing Academy's fundraiser, trying to open up a youth boxing academy here in Watsonville that I'm looking forward to. We also had California State Treasurer John Chang come here to the plaza last week in support of the DACA students. And there was a good number of people that showed up in support of DACA. And I just, you know, kind of mentioned that we are in these difficult times right now. And I want to encourage all the DACA students that if their DACA has expired, to be sure to refile. You know, there's a lot of resources here. There's Skip over here with CAB on Main Street is one of the resources where they could file. There's certain scholarships that are going out to help people pay the $495 fee to file. And I want to share with you guys a page that we got up. It's called We Are Here to Stay. The website is weareheretostay, scc.org. Stands for We Are Here to Stay, Santa Cruz County. .org, but it's just SCC. Be sure to check it out for all the resources. It has all the resources from where to file for support, where to get scholarships for DACA, who's doing clinics. It has all. It's a one-stop shop for all the information for dreamers. Second is I want to thank the students for coming in support of a pump track. You know, we have been working on the kind of preliminary work on trying to get one in the community. I'm not sure, has it passed through the Parks and Recreation already yet? Has it been discussed there?
Councilmember Hernandez, Brad Blatchley, Parks and Community Services. At the last commission meeting last week, we got approval from the commission to continue the exploration and negotiations with Mountain Bikers of Santa Cruz to come up with an agreement. And we also did receive permission to have a public workshop. Once the agreement is finalized and Mountain Bikers of Santa Cruz will come up with a preliminary design, and at that time we'll have a public workshop to get input from the community.
Thank you. That's excellent. So that's good news for some of the young people looking forward to a pump track. You know, I've been getting that comment about young people have been asking me for a pump track for quite a while. And actually, we might have the first South County pump track coming up even sooner. We're working on one in Pinto Lake County Park that might come up sooner. I do have the preliminary design for a dirt pump track there. I'll let you guys check it out afterwards. But yes, thank you for coming in support of that. We are working on that. The next thing is I want to talk about some of the presentations that we had here today about Indigenous Peoples Day. You know, I do think that we, as a city, we do have to make amends. This is Ohlone land. I'd like to also, at the end of the meeting, schedule this on the council meeting for the 26th, as requested by the community. Other than that, I want to invite people to a end of summer bike ride that's happening on Sunday, September 24th at 11 o'clock. This is for all the biking community, from, you know, road bikes, mountain bikes, BMX bikes, freestyle bikes, people that just bike to work, or occasional bikers, anybody, right? So we're going to be meeting at the levee at 11 a.m., and then we're having a barbecue afterwards at 1 o'clock at Watsonville Cyclery, hosted by Jules there at Watsonville Cyclery. It was mentioned earlier, I think Councilmember Dutra mentioned about the incident that took place yesterday that took the life of a bicyclist here on Main Street. I really want to encourage the city, staff, council, the community, that we need to work with law enforcement, public works, and bike educators to end bike and pedestrian fatalities. We can do a lot in order to minimize this from happening. There's protected bike lanes. Seaside's having a big workshop on protected bike lanes, or Marina, one of those two, is having a big workshop on that. So if we can, do something like that to minimize bike and pedestrian fatalities, it'd be a step in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, a lot of activities going on. Wanted to just mention a couple of them. I was able to attend Sunday a Farmworkers Family Day at the group that came here last meeting that we had, and we also did a proclamation to them. And the Church of Methodists, it was a really good commemoration for a lot of the farm workers in this valley and throughout our region, with all the contributions the farm workers do and keep our foods on our table. That's something that we should do every day for all the workers. Wanted also to just follow up on the issue of DACA, that this is something that is very, very key to all of us and to young people that are here contributing to make our society better. This coming Sunday, we're going to be celebrating the 16th of September celebration in the plaza, and we're going to be part of the committee. The Alianza is going to be donating the funding of their soda and water booth for the DACA students. And so I encourage you to please come this Sunday from 11:30 to 5 o'clock at the plaza. And also, if you have information, you can also pass there. This last couple of weeks have been pretty hard also. We had noticed that over 400 workers from Dole were losing their jobs. So that means another 400 families out there. I know that we're trying to do as much as we can with us in the county to see what's going to happen to these workers that are losing their jobs. There's about 260. There are farm workers, literally in terms of picketers and really tilling the land, and the rest of them are supporters of the industry. But again, 400, doesn't help us for our city when we have been consistently recuperating after the losses of the frozen food industry and many other jobs. But at the same time, we are, working very hard, and staff is working very hard to bring a diverse economy. But again, it doesn't help when we lose 400 workers. Also, just in solidarity with all the people that have been going for the last 2 weeks, going through the earthquake in Oaxaca and people being lost, to Irma down in Miami. We live in an area that we went through in 1989, the Loma Prieta earthquake, so we know what it is. So I encourage all of us in one way or another to keep our support for all the victims from the earthquake to also the hurricanes, and not to also forget in the last council meeting, we were just talking about Houston and what had happened over there. So that brings us to that we're working to keep our levees, and we have to continue to really be on Zone 7, strongly pushing there, because we don't know what's happening with the environment and what's taking place. There's a whole denial that global warming is taking place. But yesterday, I don't know if you heard the thundering, and it was pretty different, for September to see the kind of weather there's going on. Again, all of us, it's up to all of us to really do something about that. So again, I want to thank you for being here. We take your comments very serious, and already you're seeing that at the end of the meeting, there's going to be some proposals to put those things in the agenda. Okay, thank you very much. We're going to move on then. Report from closed session?
Thank you, Mayor. The council, in its capacity as the successor agency for the former redevelopment agency, received one report from staff this evening, but took no final action.
Okay, thank you very
Concludes my
much.
report.
Okay, we'll move into consent agenda. I don't know if there's any members of the audience that would like to address us in consent agenda.
Hello. I think I've met almost all of you. My name's Jennifer Holm. I'm a nurse at Watsonville Community Hospital, and I wanted to thank you for considering the resolution in support of SB 562. It seems like so often I have to, I've come here and addressed you before and asked for your help. And it is an unmitigated joy to come here and say, thank you. We know that a single-payer system saves lives. We know, from looking at just about every other industrialized country in the world, that this is a viable solution. But it's not just the acute care that I see in the hospital. It's the effect that it has on the lives, everyday lives of citizens. And by supporting this resolution, it's a demonstration of your advocacy for this community. And thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
We have plenty of signs if you want one.
Thank you. Okay. If you're going to speak up, you can come forward, please.
It's always great to see the nurses here, that's for sure. Thank you.
Better than the hospital. Even though we love you there, too.
I'll go there if I have to.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, good. It's nice to meet all of you. I recognize a few faces. My name is Earl LeBeau. I'm a resident of Watsonville, retired psychologist, and also a birder. So I was very supportive of when Dobie got up, because I've spent a lot of time on the finer points of bird identification in this room, as well as leading birding trips for the Monterey Birding Festival. But that's not why I'm here today. I'm here to thank you very much for placing your, considering supporting SB 562. I'm very excited about this bill. I think it's amazing, and now is the time. Its time has come. Apparently, today, I was listening to the news. Senator Joe Manchin, the most conservative Democratic senator in the Senate, mentioned that we should seriously take a look at single-payer health care. That means that it is now a national issue. But certainly, I agree with the last speaker that single-payer health care is going to help everybody here in Watsonville, everybody in California. And the best part of it is that it really eliminates the middleman. For many years, as a psychologist, I worked with multiple insurance companies. I bet everybody here can tell a story about terrible things that have happened dealing with insurance companies. I'm retired a year now, and I am still dealing with payment regarding one of my former patients who I haven't seen in a year. So one of the benefits is that this eliminates the middleman. It will save anywhere from 10 to 15% of administrative costs. I believe that I sent a copy of the study commissioned by the California Nurses Association. I recommend all of you take a look at it because it really is an excellent, spells out how to pay for this and save $30 to $40 billion in California alone. So I want to thank you for considering this. I hope you will, support this unanimously. I think Santa Cruz City Council has already supported it unanimously, and I want to thank you again for your support for this bill.
Thank you, Mr.
very
Earl.
much.
Hello, City Council.
I'm Jordan Lohr. I'm an OBGYN physician here in Watsonville. I deliver babies at Watsonville Community Hospital. It's my privilege to be here tonight. I'd like to thank my colleagues. And it's my privilege to be here in Watsonville serving this community. I come from the East Coast, and every day I'm amazed by the state of California and what we offer to our citizens as Californians. My medical training was done mostly overseas. I've worked in several countries outside of the United States. Every other country that I've worked in has had single-payer health care. To be able to see a patient in the office and not have that patient, regardless of socioeconomic status, be able to not ask, how much is this going to cost? Will my insurance cover this? Can you waive the copay? Single-payer healthcare doesn't just help the people in California who don't have Social Security numbers. Single-payer healthcare helps everybody. Thank you for running a great city. Again, I love being a citizen of Watsonville, and thank you for considering your support of this bill. I could go on for 20 minutes, but thank you.
You have 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lynn. Anyone else? Seeing none, one more.
So I haven't seen you guys in a while because I've been busy at other hospitals. So I'm sure you have not missed me. But for those of you that don't know me, I am Teresa Mack, and I happen to work for these remarkable, courageous, and awesome nurses.
Yes.
And I do want to say something to the city council, just for me, because I've thought about it so much. Those of you who were here when we were in our contract struggle, which went on more than 3 years, against the largest healthcare employer in the nation, outsiders, some really bad folks, ongoing lawsuits, you did something that no city council had done. It was landmark. I've used words like that. Historic, groundbreaking. And you didn't do it because we asked you to. You wanted to meet with us. You demanded the facts. But when it came time, you voted. It wasn't a legal thing, right? Right. But it was a thing that would catapult us a few months later to win for the first time in 12 years or more, a fair and safe contract without striking. And you guys did not get enough credit from the nurses for the courage that you showed. And so I know that because I'm a labor organizer. And those nurse leaders out there, these nurses know it. But I wanted to thank you formally because I don't get to do that with politicians very much. But you're different. You're special. You guys are different. And so you're courageous. And you have a chance to be courageous tonight. And I'm glad the nurses are not here asking you for something. Of course, we will be back, but not now. I want to tell you something personal on SB 562. So I'm a veteran, right? And I moved here from New York. I was recruited from there, but I'm not a New Yorker. I'm a Texan. And yeah, I'm proud of that. There are some good, solid-earth folks in Texas. We've got some others too, but we all have those, right? But I'm a veteran. My mother was a veteran as well. 30 years, United States Army, and she was a registered nurse. My mom sadly has Alzheimer's now. And at Christmas time, I had to go up because my little brother in his 40s had a stroke, right? 40s. And I'm the bad one. I'm the one that does all the drinking, smoke. I'm the bad one. My brother had perfect health. He was in great shape. He had a sudden stroke, and he was taking care of my mom, right, in the home. He was laying there for days before one of my other little brothers found him. I'm sorry, I'll be quick.
You can continue.
So I got there. It's Christmas time. My mom's a vet, 30 years, U.S. Army nurse. We needed to get her into a home. The VA, first of all, was on break, right? It's Christmas. There wasn't enough money to put my mom in a home that I felt was safe because they don't have all the safeguards you Californians have won. It's not the same. And it was heart-wrenching for me to know that my mother, like these nurses, served her country for 30 years, and we had to put her in what I thought was like a crappy home. Now, my brothers and I aren't rich. I'm a labor organizer. We kicked in and we're scraping by. But it was horrible. I didn't know what health care for all meant until I met these folks. But I know it now, personally. And I hope Senator Sanders and our courageous folks can do something, but, you know, sweating, sorry, it's hot in this state. I don't know if they'll win it, but California has a real chance. You always lead the way. And so I hope, and I know you've been really heroic in the past, that you are heroic again and you support this, because it means something coming from you. You're my heroes, like they are.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Anyone else?
I have nothing to say after that, but I was just making sure that, have you, all of you received these?
Well, right now we're speaking on the items on the consent agenda. Are you speaking about?
I know,
consent-
this is about
Well,
about 562, that's
well,
what
we
it
have
is.
we have our information here. If you have some extra, you can give it to her, to Erwin.
Okay, that's what
And
I'm
we're-
just making sure.
Okay, and we're going to get it,
Okay.
whatever you have extra. But we have information in our package. Okay, anyone else? Okay, seeing done, back to council then for consent agenda items. Ms. Garcia.
Yes, I just had a question for clarification on agenda item C. And my question, and that's about the contract to do an affordable housing linkage study. And the question is, and this is for clarification, I'm not, could you clarify for me, after this study, will this study allow us just to give in lieu fees, or does it actually allow us to have affordable apartments?
Good evening, council members, mayor, and council members. My name is Lori Blackwood. I'm with the Community Development Department. Unfortunately, this linkage study would only allow us to collect fees on rental projects. Unless the legislation before Congress, the California State Senate passes AB 1505, we cannot impose restrictions on requiring developers of rental projects to provide affordable units.
Okay, thank you. I just need that clarification.
Okay, other questions? Yes, Mr. Garcia. Mr. Hernandez. Sorry, Garcia.
That's the third time.
Latinos. Stereotype, huh?
Well, Garcias, Martinez.
Latino, no, it's stereotype. Please, Mr. Hernandez.
For staff, I want to clarify too that for item H, the Senate Bill 562, that we also send it not just to the authors and co-authors, but also, of course, to the Speaker Rendon, Anthony Rendon as well.
Okay. Ms. Gomez, please.
On item J, I've had some questions about the report itself. If I can have staff just brief us on this being through the consent. There may have been a revision on a report, but the report that I have has options, and if we're voting on a yes or no, it's not really, I just want to be sure that we have clarity. It's my understanding we're going to say yes, and when we say yes, it's actually going to go to staff to go ahead and resolve. But the written report, if anybody were to look at it, doesn't sort of lay out the description of the vote going that way.
Thank you, Councilmember Trina Kaufman-Gomez, members of the council. My name is Susie Merriam. I am the director of the Community Development Department. Staff's recommendation is that we move forward with extension of the loan terms and not forgiving interest. And the motion requested tonight is to give the city manager authority to enter into that modified loan.
Will this be brought back to council once there's discussion of what the resolution's going to be on that? So we know what the end result is on the reimbursement?
We can do that, or you can give us that direction to go and just not forgive the interest and extend the loan for the 5-year period.
So a yes means you're working it up and it's interest and principal and a plan on that?
Yes.
Okay, and then we can then request the follow-up so we know what transpired?
Correct, yeah, we can get back to you with that.
Thank you.
Other questions on consent agenda?
I'll move the consent with the addition of revisit once it's resolved on item J.
Okay. Motion and second. Further discussion? Mr. Hertz.
Just a comment on item H, health care for all. You know, I sat on the school district's Health and Welfare Committee for 25 years. I didn't spend all my career there, but it felt like it. Days, months, weeks, on and on and on with consultants of all kinds, from all kinds of insurance vendors, and looking at plans and looking at numbers and trying to craft a better health care system for the teachers. But we couldn't get out of the box with insurance agents and insurance plans. And so here's a great solution. Here's a way to maximize our health care, and it's certainly time that in a developed nation like this, and having traveled in a lot of third world countries and seen a lot of hideous health circumstances and situations, here's a chance for us to really make some progress, and I hope that this gets some traction way outside this hall. Let's bring this to a much broader audience, and so I'm certainly supportive of health care for all. It's about time.
Okay. Mr. Dutra.
I'm going to speak on item B really quick. I just want to say thank you, everybody that's going to be passing this. As the only openly gay elected city council member of the entire county, I look forward to always meeting with our elected officials in Washington, D.C. So I look forward to the other days where in the future when I'm not the only one in an entire county representing a group like the LGBT community. Thank you.
Thank you. Just wanted to comment on E and F. This is ratifications with our unions, contracts, both for SEIU and also for the municipal employees. I want to thank all the good work that was done to make this happen, and also for moving along and listening to the employees when they came here to us and asked us to support this too. Okay? Any other points, questions, comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Bielicic?
Yes.
Kaufman Gomez?
Yes.
Dutra?
Yes.
Garcia?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Hurst?
Yes.
Rios?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Okay, we'll move then to requests scheduling future items.
I would like to see if we can place the Indigenous Peoples Day resolution on the 26th.
Ms. Garcia.
I want to support Council Members Hernandez's request that we put a resolution to make the second Monday in October Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yes, Ms. Bilicic.
I'd like to see the third fire station again, an update of where we are. And I would also like to remind the public and everybody here that the Zone 7 Flood Board meeting will be here on the 19th at 7 o'clock. And I think that people are very concerned about the levee, that this would be a good time to come and express your opinions on the 19th at 7 p.m. right here in the council chambers. Don't have to go to Santa Cruz, they're coming here.
Yes, Mr. Hertz.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't want to beat any dead horses here this evening either, but I have been attending a lot of solid waste, integrated solid waste task force meetings at the county level. We probably ought to have some review of our solid waste situation sometime in the future. No rush, but I understand landfills are filling up, and there's plenty of refuge that needs to be taken care of. Thank you.
Yes, also, I would like to put an agenda for our next one, just discuss the DACA issue, even though we're talking about it right now. Yes. Thank you, great. You're ahead of time, I like that. Okay, seeing any other, no more requests, we don't have any emergency items. We are adjourning. Thank you so much for coming, and we will see you soon again. Good evening.